so moist, you can just let them sit down there, or even like on top of the dehydrator. Over time, they're just going to dry out. So I'm going to give this a quick chop.
What was the third?
Sage. So I have sage, rosemary, thyme, and oregano. And these are like, I don't use rosemary usually any time of the year until like the fall, and then it goes into everything. And I love to take bottles and fill them with oil, and then just put a huge twig of rosemary in there. And it's also like fresh rosemary. You could kind of very nicely whip or massage your partner.
Whip.
Whip.
Hey, this is the time to play with your food, so.
Whip.
So that's chopped up. We'll throw that in there. And just to kind of add a little like brightness to it, we're going to add some lemon zest. Definitely when you're using zest of citrus fruits, you want to get organic, because non-organic's probably been waxed, so don't necessarily want wax in your that goes in there. And then we gotta add some veggies. So we're gonna take a couple stalks of celery and some onion, and that'll give us our kind of traditional accompaniments of veggies in there. And so I just chop them up nice and small. You can take the celery and kind of cut them in half lengthwise, and then go down, and then kind of cut them again in half. So you end up with like 4 sections. Then once we have a stack that's we could work with, then we're going to go back and make in our claw, and we're going to nicely go back and chop it up. I'm not a big fan of chopping vegetables in food processors because I find that, one, they become too watery, they break down too quick, and they lose the vibrancy that I like. And some say that they don't have great knife skills, but the more you try chopping, the better you'll get. So I say take the time, put the extra love, and
It's fun to chop. Plus, the way you chop the vegetables in different shapes and sizes, it's also the energy that you put into it. That's from Paul Pittsburgh.
set our celery, and then we'll add some onion.
What's the key to keeping your eyes dry?
A very sharp knife. You can put a loaf of bread in your mouth. You could light a candle.
A loaf of bread in your mouth?
Yeah, that's what people used to, or not a whole loaf, sorry. A slice of bread in your mouth. They actually, that show Mythbusters, they did a thing with the onions and tried to figure out what works. And what I think is, by like with a dull knife and you're kind of chopping, you're just like breaking up the cells, and so the cells are kind of shooting all over the place. So the key factor, sometimes like just no matter what, you're screwed. But with a sharp knife and like a nice slice, and you're kind of just smooth sailing right through the onion, it kind of keeps them at bay. And I find that sometimes like the Texas onions or the Walla Walla, the sweet onions, don't do that as much. But I already could tell this one's like getting to me. And then, so we want a small dice. So basically we want to go sideways a couple rows, and then we're going to go back the opposite way and slice down, and then we cut again. So first thing you want to do is bring it closer to you, and with your watching your fingers, just make some slices up top. All right, and then we go back and we make some slices, and then we get a nice grip and we come down on it, and we have perfectly something. You got to come back and just give that a quick chop.
good.
And our last ingredient, which is my favorite, and I can't get enough of it, is parsley.
Is that your spoon?
No.
I love it. Glen, where'd you get that spoon? With a handle. I like it.
Don't know.
So I have some washed spinach, or some washed parsley. I'm not even going to take the stems off. I'm just going to cut down at the base, and I'm going to roughly chop it, because I want to taste parsley. Every bite. So just kind of make a stack. All sorts of shapes and sizes. I'm gonna stir that in, and just because you gotta have it, we're gonna add some fresh pomegranates. And we'll stir it
And
up.
when you peel those, do you do them underwater?
The pomegranates?
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't do that this time.
It's supposed to help open it up. Maybe, I don't know, somebody
It makes it a little easier.
It does?
Yeah.
And so we have just a beautiful sprouted grain, wild rice stuffing that is going to taste amazing once I get a taste. Mm-hmm.